Why not?
Gamble Factory, what is going on? It's your boy ZROB. We got Coach T Posey ready to talk some Monday Night Football, maybe mix in a little bit of NBA action. Appreciate you guys coming in here, hanging out with us. As always, do us a favor, make sure you're subbed, and let's cook up some slips. I know yesterday's stream slips super disappointing, to say the least. They were pretty bad, and I absolutely our first slip we cooked up. I absolutely loved it. I think we reverse swept. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I mean, I couldn't do that if I tried to. So it's pretty impressive. But how you feel about today, Tyler?
I feel a little bit better about today. I mean, I felt great yesterday, to be honest with you. So I mean, it's hard to I don't know, hard to imagine doing that again. That was pretty hard. But I like the NBA slip I sent out earlier today. I like some of the props that I know you're about to come with for the football. So it's got a lot of stuff to be excited about for today. I'm excited to make a good slip here, and let's not reverse sweep. Let's just regular sweep.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely wanting to. I know primetime games for football have been really good for me. Like last night, went 5-1. Freaking Jamar Chase fantasy score sold. I know he had a couple drops and really close calls, like with a touchdown in the first half. So close there. And then last Thursday, the primetime game, I believe I went 5-1 also, missing by one punt. So maybe the primetime games are just where it's at. There'd be magic. Hopefully, we can beat some of these bumps. Prizepicks has been insane on the bumps. Like you even think about taking something that is somewhat decent, and Prizepicks is gonna bump it right before you try and take it, or right before you post it. It's unreal. Ivan said I'm really loud, so let me. Tyler said it earlier too. I don't know why. I changed some of the settings because OBS was being kind of weird. But I turned the mic down, so hopefully that helps a little bit. So you guys let me know for sure if it sounds alright. But OBS was being weird, so I had to go about it a different way. So some things might be off. It's the typical stream things with us. We can't ever get it right. um, but
We
Tyler,
got
do you want to go ahead and too low now?
No,
Let's
I'm
see.
not going first. I'm making you go first this time just to change it up.
All right, bet. Um, all right. So hopefully, I just adjusted it a little bit again, guys. Hopefully, it works better now. Um, saying whisper because price. Oh, okay. I see, Ivan. That's funny. I went over went right over my head. That's really funny. Prize Picks is definitely keeping tabs on us. I'm gonna get things started off with a play that's on the optimizer actually right now, and it seems pretty gross. It's Zach Wilson's fantasy score. He's at 13 on Prize Picks right now, and if you look over here on like Pinnacle, DraftKings, Barstool, you got Caesars, and you got Bovada. According to all the odds, his fantasy score should be at least 15. So yeah, as you see, he's like 15.3 on all these, 15.6 on Caesar. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if Denise says perfect now, perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting bumped to 13 or at least like 14.5 before the games start. This line's too low. The price fix will definitely bump it. Um, you get a matchup with the Chargers, and as we all know by now, Chargers are incredible to target, especially for quarterbacks. They're like one of the worst passing defenses in the league. It is Zach Wilson, so it always makes me nervous. But he can hit this. I know, like looking at his game log, it's not too pretty. But like if we go look at game logs against the Chargers, like Tua, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, who's not trying to pass the ball at all, 246, a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Kirk Cousins, 367, 3 touchdowns. Like even Aiden O'Connell, 238, had a rushing touchdown. Teams are putting up some rushing yards against them. They're throwing for a lot of touchdowns against the Chargers and a lot of yards. I think even Zach Wilson can hit this 13th fantasy score a lot. It's not asking for a lot. I mean, he throws a touchdown and not even 250 yards and he can cash this. So if he throws 2 touchdowns, it's probably a lock. So I know it's kind of gross, but it's a good odds-based play and great matchup for Zach Wilson. So
Yep. I kind of talked about taking that one, but I gave that one to you because it just feels really odd to talk about Zach Wilson, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it, even though it was a great matchup.
says the
Yeah.
guy who
So,
brought up Tyrod Taylor 2 weeks ago.
hey, he technically hit. I mean,
He DMP'd. He did his job.
he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. Oh my god! So I'm actually going to the NBA side of things because I have a little bit more prop love to the NBA. And I'm going to go to Asar Thompson. He's been bumped on this line already. I had it right before stream at 21.5. But I'm going to take it here again at 22 and a half. I still thought it was too low. I thought it should be upwards of the 23 and a half
Points and
thing. I'm going to
rebounds.
take, yeah, I'm going to take his points and rebounds. I think it's a much too low. He's just been a guy who's kind of done a little bit of everything for Detroit in terms of scoring and rebounding. He's averaging 15 points a game this month, and through his first 3 games, or third 3 games this month, he's averaging 15 over his last 4. Just taking 14 to 17 shots a game, hitting about 40% of those, taking a couple threes, getting to the free throw line here and there, just doing a little bit of everything. And then it's also shown to be an absolute ridiculous rebounder. He's averaged over 10 through his first 4, and he's averaging almost 8 over his last 3. So just an incredible rebounder, an incredible athlete. So he's continually like finding himself opportunities to get rebounds. He's picked up his scoring as of late. His rebounds are at 7.5, which I do like as well. But I think you get a little bit more value with his points plus rebounds matchup. His points are at 14.5, favored slightly under. His rebounds are favored slightly over. Actually, just got bumped to 8. Never mind. So yeah, either way, you're getting a little bit of more value with the points and rebounds combined. So I think that's probably where we should be going here. It's still favored minus 125, 130 on most books. And I'm going to take that pretty much all day. I think he's just too active. I know it's the Warriors, but I'm not really that concerned, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, I like him.
it's
He's been a wagon this season. Somebody's asking about the Prize Picks special. I just looked at it real quick. I don't think it's terrible. I mean, Paul George He's favored like minus 155, minus 160 to go over 2.5 threes. So there's three right there. Herbert, however, is like favored like pretty even to like just get one passing touchdown. So that is, I'm not gonna take it, but it's close. If you think Herbert can throw for two touchdowns tonight, or Paul George goes for four instead, so I don't know. I think it's not a bad one, honestly. I don't know the exact odds on it, but Paul George is very heavily favored to go over 2.5 threes. So I'm gonna go to my next one. It's gonna be back to the football side of things. It's gonna correlate also with our little Zach Wilson prop, and it's Mr. Brees Hall. I took his rushing and receiving earlier. I still like that. They now have his fantasy score up, which they didn't earlier, which I also love. But I was going to talk about his receiving yards. He's in his last two games, which are the only two games this season. He's played over 60% of the snaps. He's only like 3 games ago for them. He played like 52%, and then the last two he's played like 64, 65, something like that. He has 14 targets in the last 2 weeks, which is second on the team. So the ball is either going to go through Garrett Wilson or Brees Hall. They get a matchup with the Chargers, who, like we said earlier, one of the worst passing defenses in the league. I don't see any reason why Brees doesn't get plenty of opportunities to hit this 20.5 receiving yards mark, especially like they're underdogs, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure the Jets are underdogs. It's not going to load right now for some reason. But I believe they're underdogs, so that's more passing script anyways. The Jets are probably going to want to take advantage of that passing defense matchup that they have as all teams have this year. So that 20.5 receiving yards looks too low, especially for somebody who's probably going to see like 4 to 6 targets at least tonight. So
Yeah, you got to think they get every bit of that.
Southern Point says his fantasy score is 12 on Underdog. That's probably because of the half point per reception, so that kind of makes sense that his is a little bit lower. He probably sees several catches, so for every catch he gets half the amount of fantasy points for that on Underdog. Anyway, so I'm taking Brees Hall's receiving yards and locking that in for sure.
Lock it in, boys. I'm going to go back to NBA because you took really the only NFL props I really liked. Going back to NBA, and I'm going to go to my guy Alperen Sengun. Shingun. You never know how to pronounce the guy's name. I think it's Shingun. But dude has been a monster all year long in terms of passing. His assists right now are at 5. I think this is certainly a wrong line, a line that is
correct.
No, it says 5 on my end.
Let me refresh to make sure.
Man, if this gets bumped when I'm talking, I'll be upset. It said 5 on my end.
Yeah, it's 5.5 now.
Well, of course it is.
5 would have been a pretty good steal, actually.
That's what it shows on my end. I guess I need to refresh it. Honestly, though, I still don't mind it. It's obviously you're losing some value here, but it's still a good line. He is been throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, he's averaged about 7 assists a game through his first 3-4 games here. So still can get there. Obviously, you're losing a little bit of value, but he's covered this in all of his games outside of one. But that was the only game he played 27 minutes. And he did it. They kind of got into a little bit of a weird game script, and he only played 27 minutes. Don't see that happening very often for Sengun. I think he's kind of going to be on the floor seemingly 30 minutes plus a night. So still a little bit upset. It's not 5 anymore. The odds have trended down a lot. It was minus 130 or so, 140 under 5.5. But now that's trending to more of an even line. I think his involvement is super key. So I think this still trends up to be a little bit more of a better line for us eventually in the day. It's just not there right now. But I do like the 5.5 still.
You still want to take it in the slip?
I don't know if I want to take it yet, but I do really like it. So hold off on taking it, everybody. But give me a second, and
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's still a prop that I want to take, but I don't want to say that for sure.
gotcha. I'll give you some time to also find another one while I go over my next one. I'm gonna go back to football. Tyler, he looks like he's just won the NFL or NBA props today. I'm really liking the NFL ones. We're getting Austin Eckler at 34 receiving yards. He has bumped a couple since I took him this morning, but 34.5 still seems too low. If you look at the Jets, I mean, they rank 13th among defenses in yards allowed per play on targets to running backs, and then they rank second in NFL on the same metric to wide receivers and tight ends. So when you're trying to target the Jets defense, it's normally better to throw the ball to running backs or to dump off to them just because of their secondary being so elite. Um, Eckler, he's hit this in 3 of 4 this season. And then in games played with Justin Herbert, he's hit this in 25 of 38. So really high hit rate on the receiving yards here. I expect a ton of dump offs to Austin Eckler today in order for the Chargers to move the ball downfield. They didn't have fantasy score up, so I think that could be a solid one too. I'm always liking guys that I think have a good chance of getting in the end zone, their fantasy score. But I really have a hard time seeing the Chargers being successful tonight without Austin Eckler being involved in a passing game. I mean, they don't have Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, he's out also. So, Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler are going to rack up some targets tonight. Keenan Allen has a lot tougher time. Is going to have a lot tougher time with that defense than Austin Eckler will. So, I really wouldn't be surprised if Austin Eckler catches 4 to 6 or even more passes tonight. And if he does that, then that 34.5 line is just too low. I mean, it should be honestly closer to 40. I see him having a good game. I mean, last week we saw he had 95 yards against Chicago. So, got a better defense they're going up against tonight. So, expect more dump offs to Austin Eckler.
I like that one as well. It was on my list. Obviously, you took that and beat me to it. But that is how this works. I've been looking at LeBron James for a little while at this point. So I think I'm going to go there. And I know that's going to be an odd thing to do against the Heat because they typically, do a good job of limiting opposing players. I don't mind here at this point, though. LeBron at 37.5 PRA is trending up pretty heavily at this point. Some books already have him minus 110 over 38.5. So it's just at a point now where I just can't stop playing this line. I don't think I'll ever be able to. I mean, it's just too good of a line. He's playing still heavy minutes. People, kind of question whether they were going to limit him this year, and they haven't. He's played 42 in overtime 2 games ago, and then 35 last game. So they're not really limiting this dude's minutes. I don't know that they can at this point. They're trying to, fight to stay at a pretty good record. And he's averaging close to 16 rebounds and assists a game throughout the year. It's at 15.5 right now. He's averaging 24.5 points a game. Just too much volume, too much activity with the ball. He has to do too much to keep this team close. So even against the Heat at 37.5, I think we're getting too much of a discount for me to ignore. So I really do like that one quite a bit. If this bumps to 38.5 while I'm talking, I'm going to cry. But 37.5, I'm going to take this all day.
Yeah, I think it's a solid one. I'm looking at it here. Surprisingly, according to the props.cash stats, Miami's defense have given up 16th most, so just average in points. But in rebounds and assists, they're ranked 21 and 22. So that's pretty high. They're giving up a lot of rebounds and assists, which, as Tyler just said, LeBron's kind of racking up those rebounds and assists. So this 37.5 line, it's pretty good value, especially if he's going to play 32 to 35 minutes a game still and not play under 30 like they originally said they were going to. I like it a lot. I have a prop that I was saving for later on an NBA slip that I can kind of go over if you don't have another one, Tyler, or it's you might have looked at it too. It was on the optimizer earlier. I'm trying to see if it still is. Oh yeah, Herbert Jones rebounds at 3.5. I don't know if you looked at that any.
I looked at it a little bit. Didn't do much super of a deep dive into it, but I did look at it.
Do you have another one or?
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that one, and then I'll see, and I'll tell you my other one, and then we'll see which one you're gonna do.
Okay. So yeah, Herbert Jones. So McCollum, he is out. I'm not sure for how long. I know he's got some kind of lung issue going on. Um, so I saw him on the optimizer earlier, and I was curious about him, and I went and took C.J. McCollum out whenever Herbert Jones played, and he's played 7 games without C.J., and he's actually cashed this rebounding line in 5 of 7. You're getting decent odds against it. The only thing I'm worried about is you're going to match up with Denver, but then Denver's without Jamal Murray, so I mean that probably helps a little bit. I think Jamal Murray usually can rack up some rebounds. I think it's
Yeah.
a solid prop. We can take that in the slip, or if you have a better one to talk about too.
Yeah.
Even like Fred VanVleet's rebounds and assists.
Yeah, I took that one earlier in my slip, and I love it.
Is it still at 11.5?
I don't know. I haven't checked it. I wasn't gonna bring it up because I'd already taken it. I didn't know if
Oh,
anybody wanted that, but
yeah, he is
I
still there. But
I love that one.
so
Oh, they just bumped, dude. They just bumped my other one.
which one?
It was Anthony Edwards, PRA.
Ooh,
It was at 33.5. Now it's 34.5. God bless, dude. Like, I swear they know what I'm about to say. They tune in. They know.
they just bump everything that's even remotely good. I mean, dude, Anthony Edwards, it's been bumped, but he's at 13 first half points again, and he's been crazy good in the first half this year.
Yeah, he has.
He does have a
He's
matchup
going
with
off.
Boston though.
That scared me a little bit.
I was gonna play it
But
at 12.5. I mean, really, you wouldn't think 13 should affect you too much. I think Derek White is out, and Porzingis is questionable.
that certainly helps if that,
It's just like he's going like way over this line. I don't know if that keeps up. He's
it's
shooting
been,
very efficient. So
yeah, uber efficient in the first half, which is certainly surprising. But I mean, we can talk about the Van Vliet one too. Like, I don't mind playing it again. I do like it a lot. It's probably my favorite one that I posted earlier.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Or like a first half prop like Tatum's PRA or Chet's PRA.
Yeah, both are so good. Yeah, both are really good.
Chet's actually went down from when I took it earlier. It's at 14 now because SGA got upgraded to questionable. I
Yeah,
don't know that it matters if,
and
if he's back. If anything, it maybe helps him being able to have more open looks at 3, or rack up some assists with some pick and rolls with SGA. I don't know. I think that's a solid one too. I've been playing his first half PRA all year long.
yeah. I mean, I'm honestly like I'm fine with the Herb Jones one. I'm fine with playing the Van Vliet one, which I do like as well. I don't know if you have a lean either way.
Um, well, we can go based off odds. I know Ivan said he sees Herb getting it.
Yes,
Um,
I've seen that too.
yeah, Murray only good for like 4 or 5 rebounds, but it's still a few.
Yeah, it's still active enough where it's making it a little bit more difficult on you.
I know people probably think we're crazy. We just skip. I'm skipping over like all these under props on the optimizer. Don't even like look at them. It's pretty bad of me, but
Yeah, I mean the Van Vliet one is good too. I'll talk about that if
yeah,
you want to
go
help
ahead.
decide. I mean, he gets a matchup with the Kings again, where he just came off of had 12 assists and 6 rebounds there. He's averaging like 8, 9 assists a game and 3.6 rebounds a game. Where he's sitting a little bit just under 13 RA a game. He just because he had two really bad games against Golden State and Orlando, where he couldn't even get over 6 rebounds and assists combined. So just an odd outlier couple of games where he kind of struggled to do anything against Golden State, which makes sense. I mean, you're talking about Steph Curry over there, and he's probably having to guard Curry or whoever else they're starting over there, and so it makes it a little bit more tough for him. But the rest of them, like he's already grabbed 18 against Sacramento, and he's Davion Mitchell's his matchup. I don't think that. I mean, that doesn't scare me. So yeah, I like that one a lot. The 11.5 should be kind of a decent pace game. I know the total is a little lower than I would expect out of a Sacramento game, only being at 219.
Yeah,
which is a little
that's
bit
crazy to me as well.
yeah, a little lower than I would think. But either way, I don't think it matters. I think he's just too active, too many minutes, too
He
much of a role with the ball for
he's
this to really be that
he's
low.
averaging 12.8 potential assists per game,
Yeah,
too. So I don't know. I was trying to see if I could figure it out based off like those
yeah,
2 games he missed if the
yeah.
teams like if his teammates just weren't knocking him down or what the deal was. I like it. I mean, he's soared over this, and Sacramento gives up a lot of rebounds and assists, so I
Yeah,
like it.
I like that. I loved it enough where I played it in my first slip, so obviously I'm gonna really like that one. Somebody said I just want to look this one up too. Somebody said Maxi's field goal attempts. What's it at?
Let's look that up.
If it's at 16 and a half, that's ridiculously low.
It's at 17, so
Okay,
it might.
okay, so it got bumped.
Maxey should
Still,
be in for a good game tonight against Washington. You just gotta hope that
it's stay close. I mean,
stays close.
that's all it is.
Which we
Like,
don't ever worry about blowouts. I see a lot of people, just real quick, everybody. A lot of people worry about blowouts when they're making their props, and me and Tyler, we'd always try and say that it's not smart to bet on that because you'll see a lot of these games they don't blow out till late, or they blow out in the opposite direction, or they don't blow out at all, or these games that have like a 2.5 spread blowout. It's just with the NBA, it's just impossible to predict. So like in my opinion, it's just best to not even worry about blowouts at all most of the time. I mean, once you get like a 20-point something game spread, then that changes things. But then you got to think the props are also probably like lower for that reason. So I think it's just best practice to not worry about blowouts most of the time and just kind of stay consistent with it.
yeah, same. We've talked about this for years and done it the same way. So
hmm Yeah, I like the Fred VanVleet rebounds and assists, the Herbert Jones rebound, Chet PRA. I'm still loving. Even I think it honestly helps if SGA's back. So I don't know. I'll let you choose, Tyler. No, yeah, I chose three, so I'll let you be the final call here.
I mean,
Harden
I don't.
assists at 5.5. I think that could be a good prop, but I'm not gonna play it yet. I took Kawhi on that team just because his rebounds and assists dropped to 8.5, and he's not going to get affected a ton. But I'm going to be interested in seeing how everybody else plays in a role with Harden there now.
Yeah, that's somebody said Maxi is 15 and a half on Underdog. If that's the case, I'm about to drop a slip on Underdog.
Yeah,
But
that's a good play
that's
on
pretty good.
Underdog.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I think it's just for me, it's probably Fred VanVleet. I don't know why. It's like that line should be 12 and a half.
Somebody said look at Harden's rebounds and assists. I will, but
I'm just not touching anything with Harden until I understand, and
it's only at
I just don't want to
2.
like mess with the role. Yeah, I just don't want to mess with like not knowing what the role is, not knowing if he's that Harden right now.
He's favored over 9.5 decently.
Yeah,
We just gotta know, like, if you have a strong lean. I mean, obviously Harden is probably gonna play 30 plus minutes tonight. It is his first game of the season though, too. And then first, like, there's so much usage to be distributed between him, Paul George, Kawhi, Russell Westbrook.
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting to figure that out. If you have a good lean on it, that 10 could be really good because like we could see that at like here in a month at 12.5 or more. So
yeah. I think it probably does move around as the roles get adjusted, but I don't want to take a chance on it right now, and I don't officially know what the role is going to be.
yeah, I agree. So you're thinking Fred VanVleet's rebounds and assists?
Yeah, I mean, I love that one earlier. Game's a close game. I think honestly, I kind of like the over in this game too, so I might just take it.
So there it is. That's what we're gonna go with, guys. I can't believe we made it through a stream without this getting bumped. Um, let's see. How much do you guys typically run on the stream slip? We just do one unit on everything personally. So
Yeah,
whatever your unit size is. So like if your bankroll's like, honestly, if it's like less than $500, you probably should be doing $5 bets. Would you say?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then once you get over $500, you can start doing like $10 bets on Prizepicks. But like if you're doing 6-man entries, you're chasing after the 25x. You really, if your bankroll's less than $500, you should be running $5 bets every single time, and you
Yeah,
should keep it consistent too.
Yeah, you don't want to sit there going back and forth. Like, oh, let's play 50 here or 5 there. I mean, yeah, obviously it's nice to get a $50 slip to go off and go crazy, but you don't hit those very often. 6 picks are very difficult to hit, so you want to try to keep it consistent with your bankroll.
Yeah, the goal is just to gamble as long as possible and never have to deposit. So like, you should never look at it as like just trying to get rich super quickly. You should look at it more as like a hobby that you're able to make some money on at times.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's just our recommendation. We see a lot of people that, I mean, bankroll management's tough. I mean, even for us, we've been doing it forever, and like we want to get carried away sometimes too, you know. And it usually bites you in the butt when you want to get carried away.
Yeah, always stay consistent. Hit that unit size, set it, stick with it, and then you'll bankroll. I mean, you'll be fine. Like you'll have a good enough hit rate that it just evens out at all times.
Agreed. So this is what we're gonna do. We got 3 NFL props, and we got 3 NBA props. I'm taking it right now. So we got Zach Wilson's fantasy score, Brees Hall's receiving yards, Austin Eckler's receiving yards all over. And if these get bumped by 1 or 2, it's not really a big deal. A fantasy score is a bigger deal. If that gets up to like over 14, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably consider taking it still at 14, but over 14, I wouldn't take it. 13's a really good value though. It's like 2 off of what it should be. And then on NBA, we're gonna take Asar Thompson's points and rebounds, correct?
Yep.
And then we got LeBron's points, rebounds,
Yep.
and assists.
Yep.
And then Fred VanVleet's rebounds and assists.
Yep. Yeah, Tyler, we actually hit one. We had a 10x last week. Hit a bunch of 2x.
We've had to do so many 5 or 6 slips.
Yeah.
It's really unlucky.
I don't really look at combos a lot, Christian. I don't know why. I just tend to not mess with those very often. But I know that Giannis and Ben Simmons rebound combo is not the worst.
Yeah, that was actually popping up on the optimizer a little bit, so that's pretty sweet to see. Where was it at? Yeah, right here. It's 53.62, so it's not technically plus EV, but it's if you're in a place where you can only do combos, like it's probably not a bad one to take, especially with Ben Simmons playing pretty good minutes this year. If that game stays close.
Yeah, I actually took his rebounds alone earlier in my slip. So
Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Nice. What's Ingram's rebounds and assists? Are you talking about like the chance to hit probably? Because I'm sure. His rebounds and assists is at 12 on Prizepicks. It's actually favored under because all the books are at 11.5. But it's not like major. It's only at 51%. So I mean, I wouldn't worry about the odds here. When you get down to like 51% odds, like it's pretty even. So that's basically strong feels right there, which is kind of seeming like that's what Prizepicks is trending towards with.
Yeah, it's just they're gonna push everything to close to even lines as best they can. There's no doubt about it. Prizepicks is certainly not the place to like play for value.
Which like even Underdog is even bad too lately.
Yeah, you just almost have to get a new app every like 2 or 3 months to get the bets of value. Honestly, like
Pool at 18.5, pretty even line right there. Who are they playing again? I can't remember.
The 76ers.
Oh yeah, so definitely a really tough matchup. He cashed just like crazy last year with the Warriors, 29 and 33. The Wizards are weird this year. I don't think they give a crap about playing basketball. Honestly, like they're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, they definitely messed me up earlier with the Kuzma and just benching. I just didn't give him the minutes he deserved. So they just could do that at any time.
I've taken Gafford a couple times, and like every time I take him, he doesn't get the minutes or he gets in foul trouble. The Wizards, man, I don't know. They're hard to get a read on.
Oh yeah, Cam Thomas is dropping a legendary game there, Wisdom Warriors. I took Cam Thomas's solo points in a slip earlier, and I'm pretty sure it's bumped already. But yeah, I love that one as well.
Yeah, if it's at 22.5 still, that's what
I took it at.
So I hope it's still there because I have it wrote down for my next slip. He is at 23.
Yeah, I figured he was going to get bumped. I feel like I had a bunch of good value in my slip earlier. I'm pretty sure all of them got bumped.
I'm about to see. I had Lively's rebounds. I was liking that. I think everything's taken off the board for them because was it Kyrie maybe got rolled out?
Yeah,
So
I
I doubt
didn't.
he's there.
Hope he plays whenever we go to the game.
Yeah, hopefully Luka's good again whenever we go to the game.
Golly.
He's been good. It's just not been the same first half wagon, unfortunately.
No.
But that's what we're gonna roll with, guys. There's nothing crazy. I mean, this is the optimizer right now. There's some these under fantasy scores. I don't ever really play those. They're apparently good value, but like I've not seen anybody really cashing out with those, so just not for me. Here's a good combo prop for whoever is asking about it. Miles Turner and Victor Wembanyama rebounds at 16. That one's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that one seems low. I like that one. Almost took Turner 8.5 rebounds himself.
Turner's been killing it this year. I mean, Victor Wembanyama's at 8.5. He's went over that in 3 of 6. And then like you look what you said, Miles Turner was at what?
8.5.
Yeah, and he's went over that 3. Like you gotta think they can hit at least 16 together.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty good one. I'll probably actually put that on my list. So
All right, boys. Looks like we have got it locked in. Got some questions asked. And time to jump on out of here.
what's your top 2? All right, Tyler, what's your favorite prop on this slip?
Probably LeBron.
Really?
Yeah, that or Fair Lead. I love Fair Lead a
You
lot.
got you. All right, we should keep track of our top 2's record.
Oh, yeah, we need to do that.
That'd be cool to do. So, all right, you're going. Which one are you going with?
I'm gonna go LeBron tonight.
All right, I think. I want to say Zach Wilson.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take Austin Eckler's receiving yards. Just a wagon prop. So Austin Eckler receiving yards, and then which one did you say again? Sorry. You said
LeBron PRA, yeah,
LeBron
37.5 PRA.
That's our top 2. So we'll start keeping track of our top 2. See what our hit rate is. You gotta think that's gotta be at least 70%. Otherwise, we're gonna have to stop streaming.
Yeah, might have to.
But appreciate you guys, Kristen. I'm going to the Fayetteville game tonight to watch the Razorbacks. So, woo pig.
Woo pig, baby.
Yeah. So, but appreciate you guys as always hopping in here, hanging out with us. We love hanging out with you guys, answering questions and all that. Before you leave, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribed. Helps us out a lot. Tyler, do you have anything else to say?
Cash money.
Cash money. Let's get this 25x, guys. We verse swept yesterday. Now we're going to actually sweep today, hopefully. So, we got another Riders Arkansas fan. Let's go. Dude, I can't wait.
Let's go, Ryder.
Arkansas is probably going to win by 50 tonight, and I'm going to stay for every single second. I'm going to watch Trevin Brazil throw down and nasty dunk because he's the absolute GOAT. I'm pumped. And we're going to cash the 25x tonight. So, let's go. Hopefully the stream was good. I saw 0 complaints about any echo or anything other than
Love it.
I needed to whisper, but that was the wrong thing, so I turned it down prematurely. But I guess it went well. I don't know. Maybe the new stream settings are worth a damn. I don't know.
Let's go. That'd be huge.
That'd be crazy. Or they're just used to us screwing up. They don't even bother saying it anymore. Over, under, point. That's a nuke, bro. That line's way too low. He'll average that a game. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later. Good luck tonight. Win lots of money. Peace.